Hey guys, welcome back to Over the Wire with Bandit. In part 1, we completed levels 0 through 8. Today, we're continuing with levels 9 through 14. By the way guys, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any new uploads. And let's dive right in. Alright, level 9. The password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt in one of the few human readable strings, preceded by several equal characters. So if we type ls, we'll get the data.txt. Now if we get the data.txt, it should be pure gibberish or binary data. So what we'll do, we can actually just clear the screen. And we can do cat data.txt and we could pipe it into the strings command, which would extract each ASCII characters from that file. And then we could pipe the strings command into the grep command, and then we could grep two equal signs since it says the password is preceded by several equal signs. And you can see guys, we get the password right there and we can copy it. Now notice that we did multiple cat commands. We did multiple commands right here. We could actually just use the string command one time. So let me just clear the screen to demonstrate this to you guys. So this is the first way we could get the password, and now we could just type strings data.txt and then grep equals equals, and then we would still get the same password. So we can start logging into level 10 now. So we can put bandit 10 and let's log into level 10. And we can go on the level 10 page. And now it says the password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt, which contains base64 encoded data. So if we clear the screen, we can do cat data.txt and you'll see that we get base64 encoded data. Now, to decode base64, we can use the base64 command. If we do --help right here, we can see the flags that the base64 command accepts. It accepts the file. And if we don't specify a flag, it will assume that we want to encode. The -d flag allows us to decode though. So what we can do, we can actually do cat data.txt. And we could pipe it into the base64 command and then the -d flag. And we would get the password just like that. Or the second way we could do it, we could just say base64 data.txt and then the -d flag, and we would still get the same password. So we can copy that and we can log into Bandit 11 now. So we can put Bandit 11 right here. And we can paste the password in. We can go on the level 11 page. And let's just clear the screen. The password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt, where all lowercase a to z and uppercase letters have been rotated by 13 positions. Now, let's look at the data.txt. So cat data.txt, and you can see guys, this is actually a ROT13 algorithm. Because a ROT13 algorithm rotates letters or alphabet letters by 13 positions. So we can actually copy this ROT13 encoded data. And here's how we'll decode it. We could actually use a online tool to decode it, but instead I'll be using my own tool that I created in C called Rotify. So we can go on github.com/ hacker3983/ratify. And it's basically a command line tool written in C that allows us to encode or decode a given ROT algorithm. So we'll use it to solve this level. So I'm just going to clone my repository. So git clone https://github.com/hacker3983/ratify. And I already cloned it, guys, so I'm just going to cd into it. So cd ratify, and if we do /ratify, you will see the help menu right here. So we have the -t flag, the -r flag to specify the given ROT or rotations, and then -d to decode, and we can also do auto solve, and the -n to brute force within a given range. So we can just do /ratify, and then we can use the -t flag, and then we can paste the ROT13 data, and then we can say -r13 and then -d to decode, and then you will see that we get the decrypted data, which is the password. We can copy that, and we can finally log into Bandit 12. So let's go to Bandit 12, and we can just paste the password in, and let's go on the level 12 page. And it says the password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt, which is a hex dump of a file that has been repeatedly compressed. For this level, it may be useful to create a directory under /tmp, which you can work. Use mkdir with a hard-to-guess directory name, or better, use the command mktemp-d, then copy the data file using copy and rename it using move. So let's take a look at the data.txt. If we do cat data.txt, let me go in full screen and cat data.txt, and you'll see that, guys, this file is called a hex dump. It contains hexadecimal data. So if we use the file command on the data.txt, you will see that it will just say ASCII text, but it's actually a hex dump. So here's what we'll do. Let's generate a temporary directory in the /tmp. So we'll do mktemp-d, and then this is the generated directory. And then what we can do is we can copy the data.txt into /tmp, and we can cd into /tmp, or the generated directory. And what we can do, we can convert this data.txt into the actual binary file. So we could do cat data.txt, and we could pipe it into xxd-r, then we could output it into the data. And then let's see, if we do file data, you'll see that we get a gzip compressed data now. We can actually, let's rename the data file to binary, and then we can do rm data.txt, because we don't need the hex dump anymore. And then, so if we do file on the binary, we see that it's a gzip compressed data. So we can use the gzip command, or so we can say gzip, and then we could do, we'll need to rename this to a gzip file. So we can do move binary into binary.gz. So binary.gz, and then we could do gzip-d and then binary.gz. And if we type ls now, then we do file binary, you should see that it decompressed it, and then we now have bzip2 compressed data. So let's decompress it using bzip2. So if we do bzip2 -d, we can just write binary, and it will output a binary.out file for us. We can do file binary.out to take a look at what type of file it is. It is now a gz compressed data, so we can do move binary.out into binary.gz, and then we could do gzip-2-d binary.gz, so it decompresses. So it should be gzip-d binary.gz, and then if we do file binary, we can see that we get a tar file now. So to extract this, we'll use the tar-xf command, and then we can pass the binary file, and we can do ls, can say file data 5.bin, and we can see we get another tar file again. So we can say tar-xf data 5.bin, and now if we type ls again, we should get another file, which is data6.bin. So we can do file data6.bin to determine the type of file, and it is a bzip2. So we can say bzip2-d data6.bin. Wait, sorry about that. So .bin, this should be .bin. And now if we type ls, we should get a data6.bin.out. So we can say file data6.bin.out, and we now get a tar file. So we'll need to extract it. So we type tar-xf. Wait, let's type ls again. So tar-xf data6.bin.out, and now if we do ls, we can see we have a data8.bin. So we can say file data8.bin, and we now have gzip compressed data. So we can say gzip-d. Before doing that, we'll need to convert it to a .gz extension. So we can say move data8.bin into data8.gz. So this .gz, and then we can say gzip-d data8.gz, and if we type ls, we should have a data8. So if we do file data8, let's see what it says. It says ASCII text, which means this is a human readable format. So we successfully decompressed the data. So we can do cat data8, and you can see now we get the password for Bandit 13. So we can just copy this, and now we can just exit. And now we can log into 13, and we can paste the password in. And now we can go to level 13 page. So level 13, the password for the next level is stored in the /etc bandit pass bandit 14 and can only be read by the user bandit 14. For this level, you don't get the next password, but you get a private SSH key that can be used to log into the next level. Look at the commands that logged you in to the previous Bandit levels and find out how to use the key for this level. Alright, so let's type ls-al. So ls-al, and we can see that we have a private key in Bandit 13's home directory. So let's cat it out. So cat ssh key dot private, and then we can see that we get the private key. We can just copy the private key, and let's go on our another terminal, and we'll create a ssh.key file. So do vim ssh.key, and then we'll just paste that in. And then we'll need to set the permissions for the ssh key file. So chmod plus, so to set the permissions, guys, if we type ls-l on the ssh.key file, you can see that it has read-write permissions, but we only want to have read permissions for the ssh private key. So we could just do chmod 400, and then we could say ssh.key, and if we do ls-l ssh.key, it should only have write mode now. So that is the appropriate permission for us to log into the user Bandit 14. If we didn't set the permission, then we would get errors on our SSH key while trying to log in to Bandit 14. So let's try to log into Bandit 14. Now, since we have a private key, guys, we will need to specify it in the SSH command. So we'll do -i, and then we'll just write ssh.key. And now it will use the SSH key to log into the user Bandit 14. And now we finally logged into Bandit 14, guys. Now, right at level 13, it said that the password for Bandit 14 can only be read by the user Bandit 14. So to find the password for Bandit 14, let's go right here on the Bandit 14 to 15 page. And if we type right here, guys, we can type cat/etc. Wait, so hold on a minute. Wait, the password for Bandit 14 is stored in /etc bandit_pass, and then Bandit 14. So if we do that, we will get the password for Bandit 14. Now it says the password for the next level can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to port 30,000 on localhost. If you guys don't know what localhost is, it's basically an address for the current computer that we're logged into. It can also be represented by 127.0.0.1, which is an IP address. So let me just clear the screen. So localhost, guys, is also the IP address 127.0.0.1. So what we'll do, guys, we'll need to connect to this port right here with the correct password that we retrieved for Bandit 14. So we can cat that again. We can copy this, and we can say netcat localhost 30,000, and then we can just paste the password in, and you can see it says correct, and it gives us the password for the next level. So now we can log into Bandit 15. So let's do Bandit 15 and let's wait on that to connect. Wait a minute, we need to get rid of the SSH key. So let's wait on this to connect. And we can just paste the password in. And now guys, this is it for today's video. I hope you all learned something new. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.